coming up. Yes, now we can.
Hit console, sir.
Yes. Okay. So let's get started. The others are on a call, looks like. Okay. Let me take control. This, as we said, is the Java console. Uh, on the very top, you see these menu options called Home. Then you have Tools, then Storage. Vanu, somehow the clicks are not working. I will guide you. You please do the clicks.
No, sir, it's actually loading. Hmm.
Yeah, you. So one after the other, please show the menu. Yes, Tools, then Storage,
Storage.
then Configuration, then Reports, then View, and then Support. Okay, so these are the top level menu options. Now we will go one by one. Go to the Home tab. Okay. Now in the once you click on the home menu, you see in the ribbon lot of icons, right? So first you see the com cell, then the job controller, then event viewer in the first section, these three in the first section. Then in the next section you see alert, scheduler, license and registration, control panel, and then new client. Okay. These five in the second section. Then you see what's new, getting started, web console and command center in the next section. And then you see health status, SLA status, and dashboard view. Okay, this is what we see. Now under home, you see the entire screen is divided into broadly two divisions. The one on the left is called the Comcell browser, where you get drill down options of many components. So at the very top, you see the host name or the Comcell name, which we had assigned at the time of installation. Okay. And then below that, you see multiple groups or multiple sections, starting with client computer groups, then client computers, companies, security, storage resources, policies, reports, content director, workflows, network topologies, then dev test and DR. Okay. As and when you expand any one of these sections, you will get more options and under them. Okay. Or subsections. And whenever you choose any of the top level sections or subsections, on the right hand side, you will get a detailed view where you see the view will keep changing depending upon what you select on the left hand side. Okay. And in the right hand side view, just like a browser, you can open multiple tabs actually. You see by default, these three tabs are open: client computers, job controller, and then the event viewer. Okay. You can open or close any of these tabs. You can rearrange the tabs, and you can have multiple tabs open as well. Okay. As per your convenience. And within these tabs, whenever you select anything, you can make some actions on it. Okay. For example, if you go to client computers tab, the first tab in the detailed view, client computers tab, right? You select that first row where you see one of the client computers. See, it got selected. And then you see a lot of details about that particular thing. And then when you right click on that, when you right click on that row, what is selected, you will get multiple submenus and actions that you can perform. Okay. So we will learn each one of these. Okay. And then we will see what is its relevance to our day-to-day work, implementation work, troubleshooting work, so on and so forth. Okay. I'm just trying to make you familiar with this layout and GUI. Okay. And then at the extreme bottom, you will see a status bar kind of a thing. So there you will see the host name hyphen, you see a hexadecimal number FFFF it is showing, right? So that's called as the Comcell ID. Okay, so whenever we are raising any support ticket, whenever we are raising any case with Commvault, they will refer to this Comcell ID. Okay, that's the unique identification given to any Comcell environment. Then you see the version, the major version, minor version, and the maintenance release. If you remember, our 11.40 package was not working, so we downloaded 11.32. And when we were doing the installation, we selected maintenance release 128. So that is what you see there, 11.32.128. Okay. This is very important because whenever you're doing any troubleshooting, whenever you're downloading any package, whenever you're downloading anything from Commvault support site, it should be compatible to this version that you're seeing here. Okay. Then comes the time zone. This is also extremely important. Don't think that this is not important because all the backup jobs, the audit logs, the normal logs, the retention periods, everything is tied to this time and the time zone. Okay. And by default, this picks up the time from the system on which you're installing the software. So if you see, it is exactly matching what we see as a system time on the Windows machine, 8:14 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. So Bhanu, can you please change it to India time? First on your machine. First on your machine. Yeah. Select IST. it went up plus 530. There you go. There you go. Chennai. Yes. Okay, 9:45 p.m. Okay. But you see, it is not yet updated in Comcell. So what you have to do is you have to log off once, restart the Commvault services on this machine, then it will pick up the latest time. Okay. So you can close this window, go to Commvault Process Manager, which got installed automatically once we installed Commvault. And then under Services tab, if you want to restart all the services at once, click on the extreme right hand side button on the bottom. Okay. And on the top, you select all services and you just click on that button, which Banu is highlighting right now, next to the stop button. Okay. Once you click on that button, all the services will get restarted automatically and you can see the status. So red square is stopped and green is it's still running. So we will have to wait for all the services to stop and then restart to become green. So it will take a little bit of time. So this is a very simple way Commvault has provided to manage Commvault related services on that particular machine. So let us say you have installed only the master server on a machine. You will see only the master server related services here in this tab. Whenever you install only media agent, you will see only media agent related services in this tab. Okay. So don't get confused. What you see in this tab depends upon what you installed using the software package. Okay. It's waiting for the Tomcat service to get restarted. Yeah, I think it's done. Just check. Job manager. It's done. Come down, scroll down. Great. Now you again close this window and go to the console again. Yeah, you see now it got changed. In the console, you see India Standard Time and the exact time that is there on the system. Okay. And this is very, very important. Okay. So you have to check these things the moment you log in. Then you see which user has logged into the console. So you can see that the admin user has logged in. And since we did not create any other users, so we will have only one user right now. Then if there are any errors or events or problems, you will see a small icon there. Yeah. And it will show if any alerts are there. The moment you click on that, it will automatically take you to that particular alert. Okay. And it shows that disaster recovery job failed. So you can click on that alert, what you see, and you will see the detailed view automatically. Okay. If you double click it, it will open up as a dialog box like this, or else if you just click on it, bottom you can see the details. Okay. Now, if you right click there on that particular alert, you will make it, you can make it 100, you can insert a note, you can delete the alert also. Okay. So you can do these things. We will get into the details of troubleshooting this later. Okay. Right now, we are just getting ourselves familiarized with the console, where to do what. Okay. Right. Now
Also,
we, yes, Saptarshi.
no questions. I said sure, sir.
Okay. Now we go to a few other things. Uh, Under the home menu, you see a COMCEL option. Okay. Vanu, just click on that COMCEL. Yes. The moment you click on COMCEL, whatever you see in the COMCEL browser on the left hand side, the same thing is displayed horizontally here. Okay. No, nothing different. Okay. And if you have to go into any one of them, you can just double click on that respective icon. Okay. Then the next button, job controller. Can you click on job controller? And job controller has a sub menu also. You can just show what is there in the sub menu. So it shows show all jobs. That is what is there. So click on job controller. The moment you click on job controller, you see that on the right hand side, one more tab gets opened. And it is in this tab, job controller tab, that you will see all the current running jobs in this particular COMCEL across the environment. Okay, and all kinds of jobs. It could be a backup job, it could be a system job, it could be a copy job, it could be an archive job, it could be auxiliary copy, it could be dash copy, it could be a restore, anything. Okay, any operation that is happening inside Commvault, that particular job along with all its details like job ID, who started it, when did it get started, where is it actually running, on which data is it applicable, what is its current status, if there are any errors. Okay. If the job is getting delayed, what is the reason for the delay, all those things. Okay. And the priority of the job with respect to the other jobs in the environment. Okay, all those things will be displayed here. Now, since this particular environment we have not configured any jobs, it is showing as blank. But soon we will be configuring a few things, and then you will see, how important this job controller section is. Okay, right. So you can close this tab, Anu, the job controller, the other one also, this one as well. Console alerts, all this you close. Yeah, close this. Yes. Now the next button on the home menu is event viewer. Okay. And that is what we see in the details tab right now, right? The event viewer tab. What is this? Job controller is for a running job. Okay. But if any event has happened, like a crash, like a error, or any other event, right, pertaining to this particular concept, all those events will be listed here. Okay, and it will also create certain correlation between the event and it is with respect to which job. Okay. It will also give you the severity, whether it's informational, critical, warning, and all of that. You can filter the jobs also based on the time. On the right hand side top, you can see you want to see the events happened in the last 1 day, 1 hour, 1 month, 1 year, like that. Okay. Manu, can you show that option under the days on the top right in the event viewer? Yes, days and hours you can see, and you can select the number in the left hand side box next to it. Okay. Last 10 days, last 15 days, last 1 hour, 2 hours, like that. So only those events will be shown here. Okay. Very simple. Now, the next section with respect to alert, scheduler and all, we will do that a little later because for that you need to understand more details. So now we will go into the control panel. Okay. The control panel. Yes. The moment you click on control panel, you see many more options coming in. Okay. Now don't get overwhelmed. As and when you keep learning Commvault, you will understand the importance and of these, and you will get familiarized. Okay. But just to give you a very high level idea, this control panel allow us to make certain global level configurations on the COMCEL environment. Okay. And all these icons, if you see, are categorized based on their relevance and functionality. So you can see if you want to make any changes at the COMCEL level, it's there in the first ribbon or first band. Then anything with respect to storage, like cloud storage, tape storage, disk storage, okay, or KMS, key management for encryption, all of that is in the second ribbon. Then anything with respect to data is there in the third ribbon, okay, like disaster recovery, DR copies, okay, doing replication, job management, all that. Then anything with respect to user management, creating a new user, okay, searching for a new user, setting permissions, creating credential vaults. So just like how you can create a password vault, you can create a password vault here in Commvault also. Okay. So all those things, configuration can be done here. Then anything with respect to monitoring, okay, is there in the next ribbon. You can also send metrics to a monitoring tool like Zabbix. So that's why SNMP is there. Auditors will need the audit trail. So audit trail is there. Then Commvault has a cloud metrics server so that Commvault global team and support team, if you want them to do some analysis or you have some service providers who are doing managed service of your environment and they need all the detailed metrics, then you can create a cloud metrics reporting server. So that configuration is there here. Or you want to create a separate private reporting server for this particular environment, that also you can do. And then you have anything you want to write in R language, okay, for visualization or analysis, data analysis, that is also there, and SCOM is also there. Okay, so all these are with related to monitoring. Then with related to maintenance, like upgrades, then DR backup, the alert that we were seeing, then anything to do with troubleshooting, debug levels, then email alerts, uh, internet routing, all those things are there in this maintenance ribbon. Then comes scheduling. Okay. Scheduling ribbon will allow you to create custom calendars and all. And then there is one important thing called blackout window. This is what is used to create air gapping. We will learn about this later. Uh, And then you can set holidays, you can set maintenance windows. Okay, all those things can be done here. And then you have something called as quick access tools for further troubleshooting and maintenance. Okay, so a lot of options are there here. Now, one thing you will see that these options are available only in this Java console. Okay, these are not available, all these are not available in the browser based GUI. Okay, that is the reason why most of the advanced level users and expert level users prefer to use the Java console of Commvault rather than the browser based console. Okay, because so many options are there here, you can do a lot of tweaking at a very low level. Okay, so we will learn about these one by one, but don't get overwhelmed. Lot of things are there to learn. So as and when we move forward in the class, we will pick up each one of them one by one. Okay. So for now, we will go to the first ribbon in this control panel. At the top, go to the first ribbon. Yeah. And we will see the first section, licensing and registration. Licensing and registration. Yes. So the moment you click on licensing and registration, you see this window that gets opened. And in this window, again, there are multiple tabs. Okay, we will learn about them one by one. So firstly, in the registration tab, you see the COMCEL ID, then the COMSERV IP address, subnet mask, okay, the license IP address, what is the license mode, edition, serial number, registration code. Then if you have to register this COMCEL with Commvault, then there is an option to do registration, register online. You will do this only if you have a valid license key. If you do not have a license key, then you will not do registration. Okay, you'll just leave it as it is. Then you can export the license file to be used somewhere else. So you have an export option at the right hand side there. Okay. Typically, we will do this export if you are doing a major upgrade like version level to version 12, and then this COMCEL you have to completely scrap and build a new one, but you do not want to reapply the licenses, so you can export all the licenses of this COMCEL into an export into a license file, and in the new COMCEL you can just import the new licenses. Okay, then you go to the next tab, which is called as the capacity tab. So here you will see the license usage, okay, and the overall usage of the COMCEL environment. Okay, so you see 500 TB it is showing as licensed, out of which 0% is used. That means we have not utilized any, not even a single terabyte of backup has happened in this system. Okay. Then archival, if you're running any archival jobs, that will be shown how much terabytes have you archived. Okay. Then come down. So Commvault has different kinds of licenses. So based on what kind of licenses you used, so that level of percentage will be shown here, how much you have actually utilized and consumed. Okay. Nothing much can be done here. This is just a view only tab. Next, click on usage. Right. Here you see within the COMCEL certain other licenses usage. Okay, so the other one was capacity usage. This is license count usage. Okay, like how many clients are using file level backup, how many mailboxes are being backed up. Okay, so anything with related to counts, okay, that will be shown here. Again, this is a view only slide. There is no user action that can be taken on this particular slide. Okay, just for you to understand how many counts of licenses have been used in this particular COMCEL with respect to the licenses that may have been purchased or put on this. Okay. Next, license details. So these are all the different kinds of licenses that are there in Commvault. Again, don't get overwhelmed. The licensing of Commvault is actually pretty simple. So we will learn them later. Okay, once you get to the solution architect level, that is when we will learn about the licensing. But for now, again, this is again a view only slide. So you can see the various licenses, how much, what are the permanent licenses if you are using uh, perennial licenses, which was the available earlier. If you are using subscription licenses, it will be coming under term licenses. Okay. So permanent means perennial and term means subscription, annual subscription licenses. Okay. Again, nothing much can be done here. It's a view only slide, view only window. Next, apply license. So whenever you get any license key, uh, it will come as a file to the mail ID of the customer. And what you have to do is you have to apply it into this particular COM cell. So you will click on browse, select that particular license file, and then click on apply. Okay. And the moment you do that, that license will get applied onto this particular COM cell. Okay. That file can be there locally, or if it's there in a network drive, then you will choose the second radio button called network share. And once you click on browse, it will allow you to select any network share also. Okay. There's an option to convert here, but generally we don't do conversion like this because you have to reach out to Commvault support team to convert any licenses. Okay. So it is not advisable to do it by yourself. So this option here, though it's there, not much used. Then the last step, license summary. Here you will get a complete summary of which licenses were purchased, how much is being used, okay, and the other details like COMCEL ID, tenant ID, when was the license applied, so on and so forth. Why this is important? Whenever the customer wants to do any renewal, okay, or understand which SKUs or part numbers they have purchased, okay, this is mainly for audit purpose. They can come and see from here. Okay. Yeah. You can print or save this externally also for records. Yeah. Any questions on this? It's pretty simple and straightforward. Now I have a question for all of you. Let us assume that uh, a customer has purchased the annual subscription license, which means a license is valid for a period of 1 year. So let us assume that he purchased and applied the license on 21st January 2026 for 1 year. Okay. So obviously the license should expire on 20th January midnight 2027, correct? What if I go and change the system time to 2027? Will the license expire or will it still hold good?
It should expire.
How many of you say it should expire? How many of you say it will still hold good?
Sir, if device is connected to internet, then no, it is not connected to internet, then it will expire.
Okay. Okay. Great. Yes, Nilesh. What's your answer?
Yeah, sir. Same as Atharu said that it should expire.
It should expire. Okay. Praveen?
I don't think so it will expire, because if you are using license, the OEM also get the notification. So from their end, it is not expired. So as in whenever you are changing the date again, it will work again.
That is experience talking for you. Great answer. Yes, Rakshit. What is your answer?
Sir, I think it will expire.
Hmm. So all of you are correct. There is no wrong answer here. Okay. Now let me explain what Praveen was also trying to tell. On this machine, once you change the date, it may show as expired. Okay. But Commvault has a thing called grace period. Okay. So even if a license has expired, Commvault still allows you to operate whatever license you had purchased for a few more days. Okay. So technically, your existing jobs or your existing features for which license you would have purchased, it will not get impacted. Okay. Now, what Praveen was referring to is whenever any customer purchases a license from a vendor or OEM, OEM means original equipment manufacturer. Okay. It is generally a term used in manufacturing, but we use it in IT also. So whenever the OEM or the software vendor who has built the product and who is supplying the license, they also keep track of when a particular license was sold to which customer on which particular date. Okay. So just because by default, by mistake, or due to some kind of a cyber attack, the system time of a particular COMSEL machine, COMSERV machine gets changed, it should not impact the customer financially. Okay. So for of for until the time that the system clock is not reset to actual, you might see in the GUI that the license is showing as expired, but for all practical reasons, it will not be expired. Okay. But this situation, for licenses, it's fine, but for a few other things, it is not fine. What are those things? We will see. Okay, later. And hence, system time is extremely important for backup and cyber recovery. Okay. And we should not play around with system time, and we should protect it also. And this is what we will learn in our advanced classes as we go forward. But great answers, great participation. I was just checking you guys are listening or not. Okay. So yeah, we can close this window now and we'll quickly go to the next tab in the next button in the control panel. So no, we'll do that later. Go to system, go to system. Yes, right. So these are a few global level settings that you can uh, do on Commvault. Okay. So again, here you see 5 tabs in this particular window. In the first tab, there's general, second is the change password, third is advanced, fourth is security, and fifth is encryption. Now, in the first tab, general, you see certain threshold values. Now, these threshold values are for events. Now, if you remember on the main ribbon where you see COMSEL job controller, you see event viewer. Now, this is controlling that how many events should this COMSEL keep in its database at any given point in time. These are the defaults. Okay. It will keep 10,000 events. Okay. And any event which is less than 7 days old. Okay. So either of these crosses, it will delete the oldest event. Now, why is this important? This is extremely important in environments which are highly regulated, like banks, insurance companies, pharma companies, manufacturing companies. Okay. Any regulated environment, they have to keep audit trail as defined by their compliance and policies. For telecom, they have to keep 14 years. For banks, sometimes it is infinite. Okay. And hence you have to change these values accordingly. And that is why this is there. Now, what is the impact? Changing value is fine. You can just go ahead and increase these values to whatever 1 million events, 2 million events, 10 million events. Keep it for, thousands of days, which will translate to many, many years. That's fine. But what is the impact? The impact is on that backend content store. If you remember in yesterday's class, when we were installing Commvault, we saw that we had to give a path to the content store, right? Now, where are these events being stored? It is stored in that content store. So if that path where the content store of Commvault has no more space, okay, then even though you put a very, very high value here and thousands of days here, but at the infrastructure level and at the infrastructure layer, you're not giving so much amount of disk space for Commvault to actually store events for so many years, then it doesn't make sense. Okay. And this is the reason why whenever you are making any change in Commvault, okay, it will get audited, number one. And number two, as an implementation specialist or as an implementation engineer, data protection engineer, cyber recovery engineer, you need to really, really understand what is the impact of each and every change that you're making in the system. Just because the system is allowing you to make the change doesn't mean that you should go ahead and do it just like that. You really need to understand what is the impact of that change. Okay. Next comes the database space check interval. See, again, the backend database, the Microsoft SQL, the MongoDB, we are giving it a path, right? And that path, the disk space should be available. If the disk space is not available, Commvault operations will get affected. Okay. So this is a metric where Commvault will understand how frequently it should go and check whether space is available for the database or not. Okay. By default, it is every 1 hour. Okay. But in highly transactional environments like a bank, okay, like any environment where backup themselves are running 24/7, you may want to decrease this interval to every 15 minutes or every 30 minutes. Okay. So that you get the respective alert on time and you can make provisions to increase the disk space for Commvault. Now, again, let me ask you a question here. For these two things, the events, the path that you give, for database, the path that you give, do you think for extremely large environments where we are doing backups of thousands and thousands of servers, okay, do you think it's advisable to give that path on local disk or it should be on external storage so that you can keep expanding that partition into hundreds of terabytes. What do you think?
It could be better based on the fact that we can expand it when required. So the price would even be lesser at the initial
Okay.
stage.
So your voice was a little fumbled. So what, can you please repeat what you said, Saptarshi?
Yes. So I believe external would be better so that when in future if it's required, we can increase the size and accordingly the price also can be kept under check.
So you are recommending local storage or external storage?
External.
External. Okay, okay. Point well taken. Any other answers? Any other answers? All of you agree with Saptarshi, what he said? Do you think external storage is good?
We do have the archival and compression facility, right?
Again, experience speaks. For events, no, we don't. But for database, yes, we do. Okay. Now, Saptarshi is partially correct. External storage definitely is an option, okay, to store the events and the backend database. But Saptarshi and for everyone else, you should also consider performance. Okay. The performance of external storage may not always be same as what you get from local storage on the hard disk of that particular server. You all agree? If you have an external storage on which the Commvault's backend database is being installed, we have to make sure that that external storage is coming from extremely high performance, low latency kind of storage, like a SAN storage with connectivity over fiber optic or NVMe. Okay. And that storage LUN or volume itself should come out of SSD drives so that you can get sub millisecond latency whenever Commvault is trying to write and read from that particular external disk or partition. Okay. So
Yes.
definitely the option will be there, or we do have the option to store the backend database of Commvault in external storage, but performance consideration is also a big factor. Okay. Any questions on this? Okay. Then we have GUI timeout. By default, it is 30 minutes. So if Commvault sees that nobody is moving the mouse or not clicking anything on the GUI for 30 minutes, then why to keep it open? It will log it out. Okay. This is for security reasons. And then we have database check thresholds. So based on those thresholds, if 30% is free in database, it will still be information. If 20%, it is a minor alert. If 10% is free, it is major alert. If only 5% is free, it will be a critical alert. Okay. And then there are couple more options, MSP ComServe and enable license limits. So we will learn about this a little later. So Commvault can be installed for multi-tenant environments also. So same master server serving different customers, not just one customer. Okay. So we will learn about that later. And this is exactly what I used to do when I was in Commvault. Okay. So I used to manage service providers across India and SAARC regions. So every service provider used to onboard hundreds of customers on the same master server. So how to manage that, we will talk about that later. Okay. So quickly, in the interest of time, let us go through the other tabs today. So you have the change password tab. So there you can change the media password and then you can change the network password. Now, what is media password? If you are doing backups to any removable media, okay, then you can set a password for that removable media so that once the media is detached from the media agent, anywhere else you want to attach it, you can reopen it only if you enter the media password. Okay, like even a tape drive, tape media, or you detachable USB disk. Okay, you can attach it with a media password. Okay, similarly, you can have a network password also. Next, you can uncheck this box. Yeah, there you have for which computer. So there you will give media agent. Okay. So here our master server and media agent server on the same machine. So you will see only one option here. Then go to advanced on the top. Right. So you can set chargeback. So that's why currency symbol is there. By default, it is dollar. Click on that. You will see other currency options. And then there are a lot of KPIs, key performance indicators, that you can set in the environment. Okay. So strikes, SLAs, then copy redundancy, and RPOs, RTOs. So any job that does not meet this criteria or exceeds the thresholds, events and alerts will get generated. Okay. So this is especially very important if you are in a managed service provider environment as well as in a very critical environment where backup windows are extremely important, and there is some kind of a revenue or a monetary thing attached to the backup copies and the time it takes to complete backups. Okay. So this particular window allows you to set those parameters. Okay. So we will not go into the details of them right now because this is not tweaked very often. In most production environments where you have a single master server for a single customer, you generally leave these at defaults. Only in a MSP environment, you will make use of these more often. Let's move to the next tab, security. So this is where you can set uh, KMS and two-factor authentication. Right now, two-factor authentication is disabled because you need to have a email server configured. SMTP email server. Okay. Once you have an SMTP email server configured, then you can enable two-factor authentication on Commvault. Okay. Then the passwords themselves can be encrypted, and for that you can use the built-in key management of Commvault. So Commvault itself can do encryption using public key and private key, and those public key and private key are stored in the backend database. But if you want to integrate it with an external key management server, that is also possible. So click on that drop down button where you see key management servers built in. Yeah, click on that. So here only one option is there. So I will show you where you can add the other one. And then lot of privacy laws have come in. If you want to enable data privacy, you have to click on that option called allow users to enable data privacy. Okay. This is especially important for laptop, desktop backups and backups of emails, backups of our OneDrive and all that. Okay. And for password management, there is this option, how many older passwords you should not use. So there will be some policies like you cannot reuse your last three passwords. So those things can be set here. Okay. Then next tab, encryption. So here you have different kinds of encryption, and we will have to spend some good amount of time in this on this. So we will take this in tomorrow's class, but just to give you a very high level view. So you have software encryption and you have hardware encryption. You see on top hardware encryption. Click on that. Yeah. Okay. So we will discuss about this in more detail in tomorrow's class. So you can cancel this. I will just show you where you can add external key management server. Yeah. In the next ribbon in control panel, you have KMS. Yes, key management server. So click on that. So here is where you have the add button. Yeah. Click on add button. So what kind of key management server you can select? So you can select AWS KMS or KMIP or just a passphrase, Azure keyword. Most people use KMIP and passphrase. Okay. Only if you are using cloud, you will use the other two, AWS KMS and this one. So click on KMIP. KMIP. Yes. So who is your key provider? Okay. What kind of cipher? AES. What is the bit length of the cipher? 128 bit, 256 bit. Okay. What is the server IP? On which port it will communicate to the KMS server? Okay. If there are any access nodes like proxy servers, you can do that. Any certificate credentials you want to provide, you can do that. Okay. So all these options are there. If you want to provide your own private key and public key, that option is also there on the top. Bring your own keys. Okay. Yes. So here you can enable, and then when you click on add, it will allow you to import your public key and private key. So you can give your key ID here. Okay. So cancel. And then you have security tab. So under security tab, here you mention the users, okay, who will be responsible for this key management. So you can add those users here. And then associated entities are nothing but this key management is applicable for which machines in this entire environment. So that also can be listed out here. Okay. Any questions?
Does it use SHA-256 for encryption or something else?
Rinjadel. Go back, close this, close this. Go to KMS again. Manu. Click on add. Go to KMIP. Yeah, see there, cipher is AES Rinjadel.
Okay, okay,
Okay, and here you can choose 128-bit or 256-bit.
okay, okay.
Okay.
Rinja Delhi.
Yeah, this is a AES encryption algorithm, cipher algorithm.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Got it.
If
Thank
you
you.
use built-in encryption, you can use Blowfish also. I will show it to you later once we get to that stage. If you use Commvault's built-in encryption, you can use other ciphers also. I will show that to you. Okay.
Okay.
Fine then. If there are no other questions, we'll end the class here today and we'll meet again tomorrow.
Sure, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you,
all.
everyone.
Have a good day.
Have a good night.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.